This episode is sponsored by Good Meads Emporium, found on Etsy.com.
Look, I'm not entirely sure why you keep paying this gym fella a monthly fee. Instead of paying to go hang out at his place and look at heavy equipment being moved from one place to another by sweaty humanoids, come by Good Meads Emporium. Over at Good Meads Emporium, we've got miniatures and models which will absolutely make you feel fulfilled when you purchase, paint, and play with them. I guarantee you that painting six-pack abs on is infinitely easier than sculpting them out of your flesh. Head on over to Good Meads Emporium on Etsy. New releases monthly. Hey, forget about it.
This has been 50 feet of rope. May your rope never go slack.
Why does it always sound like somebody's getting hanged every time?
It's either being hanged or being well hung. It's one or the other.
Does it matter?
No, I guess not.
I mean, they're totally different things.
All right.
Unless you're in Hollywood.
I know David Carradine.
David Carradine.
Oh.
50 Feet of Rope, a tabletop podcast of good friends throwing bad dice. Your cast: Adam plays Crow, who is a swashbuckler rogue.
I am hoping you have a story that you can tell me.
Brian plays Pix, who is a wild magic sorcerer.
I feel you're so cute, but I also want to vomit.
Chris plays Scraps, who is an alchemist articifer.
This is not scientific.
Josh plays Wally, who is a divination wizard.
Study. Hinga! Magic.
Lindsey plays Salt, who is a gunslinger fighter.
Yeah, bro, you just gotta catch the cosmic wave just right.
And featuring Julien as the dungeon master.
I take deep, visceral pleasure in informing you that this time you do not get sneak attack.
This is Campaign 1, Shanties of the Astral Sea, a custom Spelljammer homebrew game developed by Julien himself. Episode 13, The Dark Tower. After battling the fungal guardian, the brave adventurers stumble their way to a long-forgotten tower. Somewhere inside lies the Apostate, and the magic bowl he stole so long ago. Yet, while the tower crumbles in its foundations, inside the forbidden structure, both Blade and Spring eagerly await the trespassing footsteps of our adventurers.
Wally, inhaling all of this virulence, all of this like poisonous material, you watch him just go like, "Huh!" and his eyes roll back and he drops straight to the ground.
How does he look?
He looks like he is he's frothing at the mouth. He's covered in viscera and like spores. You also see the kind of like pale outline of Pix, who is covered in like dust and body parts and mushroom powder, standing right next to you. You didn't even know she was there.
Oh, there's Pix.
Wow, it was so quiet.
Shut up. Leave me alone.
Which no one hears. Thessalia does rush up to you, by the way. She rushes up as you are like convulsing on the ground. Wally's like full on seizing and foaming at the mouth. And Thessalia's like, "Oh no!" And she plants her hands on him, and starlight just bursts around her hands, and she casts Cure Wounds, and you're back up at 4 HP.
That was really interesting. I think I was gonna die.
Yeah, I haven't are you okay?
Right? That was fucking cool.
What the fuck's going on with Pix over there? She looks so angry.
You can just see there's someone like jumping up and down and waving their arms around, but you can only see it because there's a thin coating of mushroom fluff and like rotten grease all over her front, just the front half, not the back half.
I mean, I'm excited too, Pix. You did a great job, even though you weren't really there for most of it.
So I pick up my rapier and like slowly stroll my way towards the rest of the group. I pass by Pix and just kind of let my tail kind of give her a little rub of where I think she is. And I look down at Wally and Thessalia and I go, "Thessalia, well, you have comported yourself very well. This was, well, very exciting. It didn't have to be this exciting." but it was. And I continued to stroll through everybody else because I didn't take any damage, and continue down towards where the mound was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then a second one appears and eats Crow.
It drops from the canopy.
And then Crow eats Crow is what you're saying?
Pix just takes Crow and throws him into the Whomping Willow.
At this point, Pix, you guys all are sitting there, and all of a sudden Pix just slowly fades back into sight, and there's like a kind of staticky like sound, and you can hear her again.
Don't say anything.
Saul gives you a thumbs up and continues down towards where Crow is as well.
She covers her face with her hands.
Fantastic. So, the Fungal Guardian lies defeated. A gentle cloud of spores kind of drift away from it.
Is it worth looting?
That's entirely up to you guys.
I am definitely taking samples.
Unsurprising.
Scraps,
go ahead and you can roll a nature check.
Are there
Also,
other...
Hey, Scraps, do you have any bullets, by the way? I realized I have none. And you never got back to me on building any new ones.
Yeah, I made him some bullets.
Oh, yeah, you did, actually. You made black powder while you were on the ship. You just didn't give them to him.
Oh, that's silly of me. I'm sorry. Here they are.
I believe last time we discussed this, you made 4 shots.
4
Brian,
shots, that's it? Wow.
So that's 2 attacks.
So it should have made you 8 shots. Okay. So a moderate success is 8 shots. So you have 8 shots to give to Salt.
I give you 8 shots, Salt.
Greatly.
Also, with that nature roll, Scraps, you identify within the Fungal Guardian all sorts of really interesting, like, you can see the different, like, kinds of mushroom that composed it, the different kinds of fungal strains. Obviously, like, there's these, like, very large, kind of flat, black-capped ones with the really thick, ridged gills, but then there's these other ones that are the much lighter, kind of pale gray, with very, very fine gills underneath. And you manage to scrape out samples of the spores out of a number of them, and I'll give you information on those later on when you're able to use your alchemy kit.
So I'm searching around for other bones. Are
Sure.
there other skeletons around, and maybe something within the bones that might be of interest? So as
just roll a general investigation check. Just roll investigation. Investigate.
It's okay. Maybe I do okay. Let's see. Not so bad.
It's not so bad. I mean, the state of these bones, they're so decayed, they're so rotted out. There's really not much left on them. You probably pick up a couple of copper pieces here and there. But at this point, I mean, they've either been picked over or they've just been here for so long, there's nothing left of them.
Very good. So I'm actually just going to continue to the south and head across the bridge and wait at the foot of the bridge on the other side for everybody to finish what they're doing. Because I'm assuming that's where the entrance to the Apostate's house, whatever it might be.
That's where we walk into the prostate.
Yes,
that's where you walk into the prostate.
Yeah.
Thessalia is standing over you, Wally, and she pulls out from one of the little pouches around her waist, which is hard to discern actually, because she's not like a 3-dimensional figure as much anymore. It's almost like looking at just a little cut out outline of the sky. You can't discern like what her facial features are because it's just black space and starlight. The only way you can kind of tell where she's looking is because the starlight is like packed slightly differently in one area, and you can kind of feel like those might be her facial features. But she brings her hands up in front of you, and this like inky pool of night is in front of you, and then all of a sudden, out of the darkness of the night sky of her hands, these like bright red, gorgeous berries begin to just kind of like pop into existence. And she holds them out to you like, "Hey, you look pretty bad. These these are really delicious, and also they'll probably take off some of that some of the pain away. Because you look terrible."
Is Thessalia still wounded?
Would you say those berries are good?
Yeah, these are some good berries.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they're really good.
Nazi. I eat one and I'm like, oh, Oh, it's way better than your coffee.
All right, well, you can only have 5 now because that was a dick thing to say.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No.
Really need.
I'm sorry, that was just a joke. I'm just kidding. You can have them all.
No, it's fine. Like, give the other 5 to someone else, but like, we need to talk about the expectations of what coffee is. Because, not the point right now. But let's talk about coffee when we have a moment.
All right, that's fine.
Do you eat all of the good berries?
I know, I'll eat 5 of them, give the rest back. I'm good.
Cool. She kind of like looks around
Still
for
injured?
Yeah, she took a hit. Oh, she sees that Salt is injured. Now that she's like not looking at Wally anymore. She's like, "Oh man." And she like rushes up to you, but as she gets closer, she starts to like slow down again. And she reaches you and she just like "Salt, I see that you got hit during that fight with the creatures, and I just was wondering if you I have these berries, I think.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ow. And heal 5 HP, buddy. She like walks away, and then as she's walking away, her starting from the crown of her head, like the blackness recedes, and it's almost like the sun coming out because suddenly color is restored to her body, and you can see her face, and she is just kind of like hunched down.
Glad you tasted good. Yeah.
Thank you, Thessalia. You did amazing.
Well, the
Sorry you got hurt.
Did you see how brave Salt was when he roared when you took damage back there?
Yeah, he was really cool. He was loud.
Yeah. He was really upset. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Turn and walk away.
Pix, where did you go?
I don't know what's going on. Something's weird. I was going to turn around and throw a firebolt at him, and then I just couldn't talk. And, and then I was invisible. Kind of sucked.
You didn't do that on purpose?
Half the crap I do is not on purpose.
Oh, well. I mean, you could have fooled me, Pix. You always look really confident when you do stuff, so.
Oh, thanks, Thessalia.
Hey.
Battle sisters.
Battle sisters! Did you see I was like, pew pew! And I was shooting lights, people.
Yeah, you're pretty amazing back there.
Yeah, I was basically about to poop in my apron.
To poop in my apron.
Terrified. Seriously, that was terrifying. This is what you guys do every day?
I mean, not every day. I mean, frequently, but not every day.
Because I would not have come out here by myself. I'm really glad you guys are here.
I mean, we wouldn't have let you come out here by yourself, Salia.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that's
I
why
guess
we're a team.
I guess
that's
I really
like a bunch of us.
That wasn't really like a risk of that actually happening because I just would have come out here and I mean I wouldn't have. So never mind. You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, we're glad to be with you. We're glad you're with us, and yeah.
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 We're all battle sisters.
Yeah, I'm a battle sister. Fuck yeah.
You guys are not battle sisters.
Thessalia,
you're most battle chumps.
Thessalia looks over at you, Pix, and she goes, "Yeah, sure, they're battle sisters," and she winks at you.
I actually do not have a gender in the traditional sense.
All right, moving on. I'm leaving. Thanks, Scraps.
Can I be your battle slug?
Yeah, send me a mail.
Don't forget, I'm not
I'm
a worm.
not biologically like you.
Okay, I can't hear you now. You can stop talking.
Listen, don't deny his gender expression. That's fucking rude.
Can't hear you either, Wally.
I know you're from the East, but you can still be woke.
That is a weird meta knowledge of Wally's. But as you all begin to go south and head towards that open clearing, you can see at the very, very southernlymost part of the map, there is a kind of natural bower that has been formed. These branches have formed an archway, and as you pass through it, you are treated to the sight of this what was probably once a beautiful open jungle clearing. There would have been beautiful flowers and colored vines dotting the entirety of the interior. It's almost like a perfect sphere has been hollowed out of the jungle. But instead of being beautiful and lush and full of life, instead it has a blighted appearance. It's actually, you see that where the flowers would have been blossoming, there are kind of crumpled, slightly damp-looking petals that are drooping down. Where vines would have been stretched out with like vibrant greenery, they're now withered and twisted and desiccated. That the trunks of the trees have this kind of gray and chalky look to them, and the entire interior space looks as though someone has sucked all of the greenery out of it, leaving only this gray half-life behind. And straight in the center of this entire open clearing is a tall spire, a kind of classically designed tower rising straight up out of the middle, and at the top a sloped roof, conical in shape. There are no windows on the outside of it, and there is a single door to the outside, formed of wood under a stone archway. The entire tower is, I actually have information about that, about 80 feet tall, I believe. And it is there in the center of the clearing, the front door facing towards you.
So Crow is like haughtily strolling across the clearing to the south and slowly approaching, this entry to the bower. And as it gets closer, he starts to slow down and look, and then his ears twitch forward and he starts to sniff and smell. And before entering, he just stops and doesn't enter. And I would like to make a perception roll because I get the sense that I don't feel good.
Go ahead and roll perception. Actually, if anyone has entered here and they want to roll perception, you may do so.
Nice. I rolled a 22.
So that is from Crow a 14, from Scraps a 12, from Salt a 22.
Yeah, Pix isn't paying attention.
Okay. Salt, you walk in, and it doesn't require a lot of understanding, but you immediately, of course, see that this is a place of death. But you also just, there's something about it, looking in, you can see with this perception check that the areas that have been most affected are at the very center of the tower, and then as it gets further and further out, the effects are slightly lessened until you get to the very edges of the bower, where there are still some green things growing behind the desiccation, behind the devastation. But at the very center of the tower, right around it, you can see what is quite obviously, instead of grass, there is dust. Instead of the leaf litter that has been omnipresent in this jungle, and the broken bits of old brown leaf that is slowly turning into the loamy floor of the jungle, is instead just powder, just gray, lifeless powder. And in fact, as you watch Crow stride across, you watch as dust kicks up at his heels, plumes of gray dust behind him.
I think we better be fast about this. I don't want to get stuck here for very long. I have a feeling that if we are, we're going to start feeling really, really sick. Thessalia, what was it that this guy took from you guys?
Oh, he took a pretty important relic of ours. It's like it's like a bowl, and I know it has everything to do with the cycle of the Great Reclaimer and the Great Mother, and it's all about the balance, and I don't really know exactly what it does. I just know it's real important, and it's all about the way that life constantly is flowing through the cycle. Something like that, anyway.
All right, well, it's highly possible he corrupt the shit out of it, because that place is just seething with death.
Oh.
Yes, I would love to use it.
What?
I'd love to experiment with his device.
A corrupted divinity
like you
device
said, it's probably something really important to my research.
It's really important to our people.
Yeah, you shouldn't fuck with other cultures like divine artifacts.
I want to research it and understand it. I'm not trying to steal it.
Yeah, I think he wanted to research it and understand it too, and that's why this entire section of whatever forest this is decaying and dying and turning into garbage dust.
Yeah.
I mean, things dying isn't bad. I mean, it's bad sometimes.
Dust doesn't grow anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, this isn't like the way things are supposed to die.
Yes, it's not good.
All right, let's get in and get out.
Before anyone else, like, who would be standing next to Thessalia at this point? Who's like hanging in the back a little bit?
Probably. Well, based on where people are, Salt. But until just like 10 seconds ago, Wally was hanging behind.
Okay, well, Pix and Wally, who I think are probably further back than everyone else because they're casters, and that's just how they roll. Thessalia is just standing there. And listen, Pix. Could you do me a favor?
Yeah, of course. You know I would.
Can you just don't tell my uncle that I like was all covered in stars and stuff, okay? Just don't tell him that.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Are you like not supposed to have magical powers? Is that like
no.
Or something?
It's I think he was expecting that I would dedicate myself to the Great Reclaimer and
Oh shit, you're worshiping a different god than your family worships?
No. It's not like that.
That's totally
it's like
cool. That's great.
It's like we're supposed to kind of attune ourselves to like the natural rhythm of life and like that's what all my like friends did, and so like all of them having like they're all connected to the Great Reclaimer and to like mushrooms and stuff like that, and I just didn't, and it's just I don't just don't. It would be a lot easier if you just didn't know. Is that okay?
You got fucking star magic instead of like plant magic, right?
Yeah, but just like
fungus magic.
But just like don't make a big deal about it, okay? Please.
No, I think it's totally fucking cool that you're a rebel.
You know, my dad
won't say
is kind of a
anything.
dick. He's like a real dick. And I don't really tell him stuff. Like when I went out behind the high school and smoked a cigarette by the dumpster, I didn't tell him that. And that's kind of like the same things. Hey, none of that from you, little one.
I only understood like 3 words in your sentence, but I think
I'm just saying, like, yeah, we're battle sisters.
Battle
In and out of-
sisters.
yeah.
Yeah, battle brother, right up in here.
Wally, you can walk ahead now.
That's just fucking rude, Tex. I'm just trying to
you
be smart
haven't
about
seen
this.
me get rude.
They
Oh, I
haven't.
have. Like,
No.
repeatedly. Like, all the time, actually.
That was just me just being friendly and chatty.
I would really hate to see you when you're a BITCH then.
Then walk ahead, 1 foot in front of the other. Come
Darcy,
on.
all I'm
move.
saying, Darcy, is you're freaking awesome. Don't
Push.
worry about it.
Telekinetic push.
Wally just slides along the ground, like,
Woohoo!
still saying how Darcy's awesome. And
All right, you guys. As you so what's the deal? What are you doing?
I'm following, like, Visalia and I are following behind.
Crow, Salt, or yes, Crow and Salt. You guys were up in front. You're approaching the tower. What do you do?
Does the tower have a door?
It does. It has.
Is the door closed?
It also is. It is a wooden door banded with iron bands set in an archway made of stone at the base of the tower.
Before, we disguised ourselves as guards to sneak aboard the ship.
uh-huh.
Should we disguise ourselves as zombies?
What?
That sounds difficult, Scraps. I'm not sure how to disguise myself as a fungal zombie.
Scraps holds up a vial. This can disguise one of you as zombies, and I can disguise myself.
Scrap's been honking the bobo.
I mean, I think so, man, but I've taken a whole lot of substances into my body in the last 48 hours, so, like, fuck it. Like, sure. Unless someone else wants it.
I'm gonna while they're doing that, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna touch the door, but I'm certainly going to investigate around the door to see if anything seems out of place or seems unusual about said door.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
Thank
I hand you the vial, Wally. It is a potion of alter self that does the effects of alter self. So you can look like a plant zombie or a fungal zombie or any other kind of
or anything you want.
All right, well,
you
like
could look,
as Uncle
you could look
Tasso
like
said,
Warden
Get it
Oops or
wrong.
the Prince himself if you wanted to.
honk the fucking Bobo. Oh, or actually, how long does this thing last before I take it? How
I
long
think
does
it
this last?
lasts for like an hour.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
on.
fuck yeah. Zombie. What happens when Wally takes it, DM? He's hoping to become a fungus zombie.
You can use the alter self effect is guided by you. So you
Yeah.
drink it,
You get to decide.
and all of a sudden you almost feel like this incredible potential in your body, and you like have this like you look down at your limbs and you feel all of the different limbs they could be.
You could
All
grow
right,
claws.
so I get
or
this
gills
great
or-
like mushroom cap hat
Oh
that
my
grows. It's red with white spots. All right. And my head turns into a mushroom stalk with big black eyes. And then like mushrooms, like my clothes start to melt off like decayed like rags, and like little mushrooms pop out all from over me, and I'm like, let's go. Awesome.
Is this vaguely consistent with the kinds of monsters that we saw animate out there? They were more
No, not at all.
Can you describe those monsters one more time, Julien?
Those monsters were like humanoid bodies that wherever the missing muscles and sinew and tissue had rotted away, instead like thick fungal and plant growth had woven in to like make up the difference and kind of puppeteer these bones.
And they're like all different kinds of humanoids, like not just humans, but
I mean, at this point they were so rotted it's a little bit hard to tell, but you can see that like some of them were tall, some of them were short, some of them were skinny, some of them were like all sorts of different kinds of beings, but all of them humanoid.
So Scraps is going to continue being a total weirdo, and he's going to cast Alter Self on himself, and he's going to, before your eyes, become an exact simulacrum of, let me roll a d4 here. He's going to become an exact simulacrum of Salt of the Starfallen, and then as you watch him as Salt as the Starfallen, some like his flesh turns gray all of a sudden. Bits of it fall off, chunks of it. Wherever the flesh drops off, there's like spores that sprout underneath and fleshy mushroom. Like the flesh falls off to the bone in some spaces. The eyes hollow out, become wet and then dry again. Like basically I become zombie Salt. I become mushroom zombie Salt. That is what you are now looking at. Yeah.
Great performance.
You look great, Wally.
This was a reasonable simulacrum of the monsters we fought.
We should be the first to enter, Wally.
Obviously. Let's go.
Meanwhile,
Scraps, Thessalia is like deeply unnerved by your appearance.
And I have no idea why she would be. That makes no sense to me at all. Can I roll a check to see if I even noticed that?
Roll insight. In the meantime,
obliviousness check.
In the meantime, Crow, your 16 investigation. You're checking around the seam of the door. You're looking at the archway of the stone. It looks like a door. You see, there's a keyhole. You see that because of the way the door is set up, you can see that the hinges must be on the inside. But otherwise, it looks like a fairly straightforward door. And Scraps, you rolled a 6. You have no fucking clue that Thessalia is feeling any sort of way. You're like, well, here we go. And Thessalia just watches in horror as you walk by.
Yet she didn't mind when we dressed up as guards. And, well, she maybe didn't see the worst of it.
Yeah,
So,
this is different.
For her, yes, it is.
I look at Salt and say, what do you think the odds are that, whatever this man was, that he left his door open, and I go and test the door and see if it's unlocked.
I'm basically like I'm in like a Bible study group with Thessalia, and then decided to cosplay as a Satanist, like dress up like right, like for Halloween.
It's more like she's like a Bible thumper, and you decided to dress up as like dead Jesus.
Because
That's
I'm
fair.
Salt specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like who she has a crush on, yeah.
What Jesus would
All
have
right.
really looked like if he had spent that much time in the tomb.
Jesus.
So I'm
You're not
I'm upsetting on a
crucifying me?
couple of levels. It's not just the religious angle. It's also like, I'm dead salt. So yeah, that's
Anyway.
If the
All
door
right.
is locked, I'm going to attempt to unlock the door.
All right, go for it. Thieves tool check, please, with dexterity.
Thank you so much. 21.
You bend down, the tools fit in. It's rusty. This is like the lock has not been used in a while, and so it's a little tight. It's a little difficult, but you and the lock engages and pops, and the door is open, or the door is unlocked, I should say.
So do we wait or do we go?
Did you find any traps?
Didn't seem to be. And the door is unlocked. It does not mean there are not hidden dangers as we enter, but for right now, it seems like we are okay. Maybe.
What do we see as we open the door?
Do you open the door? Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Yes.
I will actually put you in the room, but I will not. I acknowledge that you're not like stepping in.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are here.
Threshold me, Daddy. Threshold me.
And
Oh, God.
And you are here.
It's so much.
It's just so much. Anyway, so that is the room that you see.
Anything.
Oh, you do not? Wait, hold on.
Did you drop it on the map?
Oh, I should have. I'm dumb. Here you go. That's the map.
Oh, that's better.
I mean, I still don't see anything. Oh, there I am.
Oh, I do. Oh, now I got it. Yeah, oh,
There
good.
we go. Okay. Beautiful. Superb.
So what you
this is a small tower.
Oh yeah. It's only like 30, 40 feet across. It's
But
quite
80
small.
feet. But it's 80 feet tall.
But it's 80 feet tall. A tower.
This is the third campaign in a row we've had a tower.
I'm telling you, man, everybody's got to have a tower.
Yeah.
Look, to be
What are
perfectly
you-
honest, if I had magic powers, I would want a mage's tower. I would.
I mean, why wouldn't you have a tower?
Yeah, right?
I mean, why in the world would you not? If you could have a tower, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you have a
Solid
tower?
question. We walked in here. Is that fireplace actually going?
Yes, there is there is in one corner. There is a collection of candles that seem to never finish burning. What you see, because both of you have dark vision, is a room in disrepair. There are several chairs that are around this table. One of them is actually just like completely fallen to pieces. The table itself is broken in spots. There is a bearskin rug that is rotted through. There's mildew growing across the floor. There is just a general like lack of repair. The only thing that indicates that anything was that was ever actually inhabited by anyone is the fact that those candles are still burning in the southern part of the circle.
Do we know how long it has been since the apostate took the bowl?
You don't.
Oh, okay. We have not asked.
You have not asked.
Well, feel free to walk around, Crow. Don't die. I'm going to wait for everybody else to get here.
So I will, with caution, so it was like half movement, slowly make my way across towards the candles.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't suspect or sense that anything is untoward, I'd like to take one.
Okay, you absolutely can. You make your way across the room. It smells. I mean, it doesn't smell like there's nothing like nauseating about it, but there's it smells like basement. It smells like a place that has experienced some water damage and now there's some really bad mildew. There's just kind of like a funky basement.
It's musty.
Yeah.
And no windows.
Yeah, so you can easily take one of these little candles. They do give off heat, like they do, but they are magically burning, and now you are emitting light.
So I take it off the mantle, it doesn't go out.
It does not.
How many are on the mantle?
Maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
Hold on, let me check my inventory. I believe I have a lantern. I do. I would like to put mine in my lantern.
Oh, well, there you go. You have an ever-burning lantern now.
Excellent.
That's how you backwards fall into a magic item.
Yeah, you have... It's a hooded lantern too, right?
Yes, it is. And
I'm
as of right now, I'm actually going to close the hood because I don't need the light.
Well, then, you are not emitting light anymore.
Thank you.
How do you like them apples?
I do. And actually, I'm going to put ever burning in parentheses on my hooded lantern.
All right, I wait for everybody else to show up to the door.
What are you guys doing? Is everybody going to come in?
Yeah.
You do watch as Salt and Crow walk into the darkness of this chamber.
Do Kender have dark vision?
No, I don't think so. I'm using halfling stats anyways. So definitely not, because halflings do not.
I can't see anything.
Except for the light across the room.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Ow, excuse me. Out of my way.
You bump into a table.
What the hell is this?
Kind of dark in here, guys.
You bump into a chair.
Ow!
You bump into Scraps.
If anyone needs a light, these candles.
I am my own kind of special. She casts dancing lights.
You're definitely your own kind of special.
Oh, God. You keep it stowed down there, mister.
So hey, I'm going to keep it stowed up there, missus.
Can I light a torch, please?
I think dancing lights takes care of it.
Yeah, the room is flooded with light.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So you can see through a familiar's eyes, correct?
Correct.
All right. Crabs have blind sight. I've just realized this since I pulled up their stat block. Can I have blind sight through Crab?
Huh.
What does blind sight do?
Whatever radius it is, you have perfect sense of everything. And outside of that radius, you know absolutely nothing.
It stands to reason. I mean, I know that you can use like advantage on the senses of whatever familiar you have. So like if they have advantage on smelling things, you get advantage on smelling things.
Right.
Yeah, and you're blind while you're doing it from Wally's perspective. So yeah, I'm going to say that you have blind sight while you're using Quabs.
All right. So just keeping that in my back pocket for this place that I can't see anything in.
You've heard it here. He keeps crabs in his pants.
Yep.
So now that this entire tower is illuminated,
well, at least the ground floor.
Do you want to see if the staircase is safe, Crow?
Excuse me, going up.
Don't let the Don't let the small human do it.
End up over there.
Oh, thanks, Salt.
So yes, we follow the small human.
She goes over to the table and
now she's up on the floor and can't see again.
I got my dancing lights.
Do they follow you or do they stay in the room below?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
Which of those two?
They follow me.
Oh, sweet. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I got my own disco, baby.
Is anybody else going up onto the next floor?
Yes, Crow will definitely go up on the next floor. And it's always half movement, so I'm constantly looking to make sure that nothing seems funky.
Anybody else?
They last for about a minute.
Wally, Scraps.
So are there more of those magic candles on this floor?
There are.
Wally's just following the gang right now.
Yes. Although I'd like to be near the head of the group because I am disguised in a way that our apostate will never suspect that I'm actually Scraps.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to be up in front too.
Yeah, let the disgusting people go first.
The very injured individuals got it.
I'm fine. Don't worry.
You could have taken the vial, Salt. You could have taken the vial.
Looks like I already did.
It does look like you already did, but it's actually me, Scraps.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Is there anything of interest in this floor?
There's a number of mildewed and partially rotted books in that bookshelf that you're standing near.
I'd like to take a look at them.
Sure, you can. The covers are sodden and kind of like molded through. They're in terrible repair. When you open them, the pages themselves have black mold on them. They're almost illegible.
Okay.
If you flip
I'm
through,
a creature of scraps anyway.
Do you flip through any of them?
Yes.
You come across just a number of. They look like fiction. There's a collection of poems. There's a collection of short stories. You come across what could be like a children's story. It looks like it's hard to read because the cover is like partially disintegrated, but it looks like it says something about a snow something and 7. There's a W. You can't quite make it out.
Oh, it's just a copy of Snow Dwarf and the Seven Whites. Oh my god, I haven't read this since I was
I'm not sure. This may be some kind of allegory. I better take a copy. It could be an allegory for the creation. If we assume that each of the 7 W's represents an elementary principle of movement, then this work could contain a blueprint for the great masterwork. I'll have to look.
It's about a dwarf lady who gets taken in by 7 undead horrors and learns that, like dark evil beings have souls too. And
Wally, you might not understand this, but the writers of ancient works like this often contained within a story that you might think is for children, complex lessons that would only be accessible to astute readers who poured carefully and riddled through and cracked the codes and constructed meaning from the plot line.
Pix is on the 3rd floor.
Oh wait, you're going up the stairs, Pix?
Yes.
Okay. And you're just going up there?
Yep.
Cool. So, Pix, you step on the first stair, and the stair tread under your foot just goes ka-chunk.
Oh, fuck.
And you hear a kind of grinding, whirring noise
traps
from the walls around you. Kind of like a... And if you could just do me a favor...
and give me your character sheet,
and
you're dead.
Roll a dex saving throw, please. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a saving throw. It's an attack. What's your AC again?
10.
10, okay.
Wait. Is shield enough to block that?
Your AC is what, 10 you said?
Yep.
Wow, why is your AC so low?
Yeah, your AC is garbage.
Yeah,
shield is wearing anything and I have no dex.
It's 15.
Shield is plus 5, so no. So you take 14 damage.
What the hell?
So you click the step, and you guys all hear that ka-chunk as the step goes down. You hear the of gears spinning up, and you watch as from an otherwise imperceptible gap in the mortar, a curved blade, slightly rusted now, whips across the space at the door of the staircase and slashes Pix across the chest, throwing her backwards with the force of it. You see, going up the staircase, blades scything out of the walls, like shook, 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 kind of ceaselessly.
What the hell?
It's called a trap. You're supposed to be on the lookout for them when you're exploring strange places.
Well,
That's
maybe
what
if you...
Hasselhoff always said.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you didn't bore me to death, I wouldn't have stepped into it.
Listen, I can't help that you're like antsy and lack impulse control.
Says the Kender.
Listen, I realize it's the pot calling the kettle black. Wally.
While Pix is over there getting eviscerated, I believe this is
Pix looks bad.
Is this a chest over here?
Yes, it is. It is partially rotted through. Like the wood around it is very badly damaged.
Well, I was gonna try to investigate that before.
Go ahead. It's not locked. You can just open it.
I will open it.
And inside there are sort of some rotted blankets, a couple of like what were probably at one point nice linens that are now just like completely green with mildew.
Garbage.
Yeah.
I say, well, I will take a look at these bladed stairs, I suppose. I know we wish to get in and out of here quickly, but does not behoove us to maybe take a little rest? have a little lunch or something before we go further up into this place? We do not know what we will find.
Anyone have a potion or something? I'm kind of bleeding bad.
So I will investigate the stairs and see if I can figure out a way to turn off the blades.
I mean, I'm down for all of us getting an hour short rest while Crow does fuck all since he's 100% healthy.
I have no problem scouting a little bit and making sure we don't have, at least one more floor if everybody wants to take a short rest and see if I can turn off the blades.
Well, then, since it's just past 10 o'clock, how about you guys take a short rest, and that is where we will stop for the evening.
Whoa.
So what do I roll
for
for dice?
rest, I'll lose my disguised self.
That's true.
I'll no longer be a mushroom person.
That's also true.
I just need a potion. You don't need to hang around.
I offer Pix a potion.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you, Scraps. I'll always remember it.
So if we're not taking a short rest.
You guys taking a short rest or not?
We still need to turn the blades off.
Turn the blades off. Let's see. I mean, I could just fire something. I bet if I just cast web in this hallway, it would gum them all up.
Yeah, or just stick a huge iron bar in between them. That's probably gonna mess it up too.
Do you
and
have
I'm sure
a huge
that seems
iron bar?
Seems like the kind of thing Scraps would have in his cloak. Sure. I mean,
Does he?
Check your inventory.
I have a dagger. Can I stick a dagger between the blades?
You can try.
Oh God.
I could send Quab upstairs to see if there's an off lever. He's small enough; he'd probably just go right through. Quab, go up there. And
okay.
And then I'm going to direct my homunculus to help search for the off lever as well. Go assist. What did you say? Quab. Go assist Quab.
So Quab goes here. I'll use
And Stuart.
I'll move your tokens. Quab heads up this way, and you see that through his eyes. Actually, you can't do this, Scraps, because that's not how your familiar works. You can't see through his eyes. Wally. Yeah. The next floor up, as you see through Quab's eyes, he goes up the stairs. He's passing underneath the blades because he's only 6 inches off the ground, basically.
Yeah,
Blades are scything out of the walls on some rotating mechanism, just shunk, shunk, shunk. And he passes underneath them. He gets up to the next floor. From there, you can see that the blades continue from the walls, but it's mostly the staircase that they're protecting. The center of the room he goes into, there's no blade spinning. He sees nothing else, though. But as he continues along, there's nothing else in this room except for a rotted old rug in the center of it. As he heads to the next set of stairs and he begins to go up, there is a brief grinding sound, and then Quabs is gone.
God damn it! Oh, you guys know how long it takes to draw a giant Quab out of nothingness into being from a pocket dimension?
Actually, no, wait. Let me give Quabs the chance to deal with that, because that's not potentially fair. What is Quabs's what's its give me a dex save from Quabs.
I love that I'm forcing you to say Quabs.
Quabs. He's just a regular old crab, right?
That's a one.
Yeah.
Wait. Does he get the benefit of my halfling luck where I get to reroll any?
I don't think you have lucky crabs. So with that one, Quabs is happily skittering his way across, just snapping his little claws, and then gone. And you are thrown back into your body.
Guys, it's pretty dangerous up there. No off lever that I can find, and God, I'm gonna spend about an hour trying to create it.
And what about Stuart?
Stuart flew up there too, right?
Yeah.
But you can't telepathically see through his senses.
That's right.
Go ahead and roll a dex saving throw for Stuart. Okay, cool. Let's see, what's half of that? What's Stuart's
rushing pillars?
How much damage how much HP does Stuart have?
I think a little bit more than the damage that he took.
Well, that's halved, so
So 6 plus 3 plus... He has 10 hit points.
Yeah. So you guys hear a distant sound, or I guess not so distant, but you hear kind of like a... And after a couple more seconds of waiting, maybe a minute or so, you watch as Stuart kind of drags his way back down the stairs, his little bronze mechanical limbs clicking and whirring. There's sprockets and gears that are just like literally just pushed out of his body, and part of his limbs have been completely flattened to like just the thinness of a pancake. And he kind of just like scrapes his way back over to you, Scraps, and looks up at you with his little mechanical eyes and just...
Oh, I'll fix you, little guy, but what was it?
He takes his little mechanical frog legs and he holds them one above the other and just sharply brings one down on top of the other and then lifts them back up again.
You got pancake, little guy. Yeah.
It was a squisher. They got
there
cutters and they got squishers.
During all this, I would like to look at Thessalia and say, Thessalia, how long has it been since this apostate stole the bowl?
Well, it's kind of hard to say because he took it legitimately, like he borrowed it, and then we just like didn't see him again, and then we declared him an apostate because when people went to go to the tower to ask him why he hadn't returned the artifact, they never came back again. And there were just bones instead. And so we realized that he had kind of done something wrong. And so we declared him an apostate. But we don't have like a lot of fighter types. We're more lovers and artisans than anything else.
No, I understand. How old were you when this happened?
Oh, geez, I was a little girl. I was like 28 or something.
And that's like 40 years ago?
Yeah, basically.
And you just been letting this guy be here just like squishing people and...
Well, no,
like
we just haven't been going in here because, there's...
So, I have one other question.
That makes sense.
Is your family related to him at all?
Oh, no. He's first of all, he's not a Loxodon. He's just a human. I mean, I don't mean just a human. I mean, I don't mean to offend you, Pix, because there's nothing just about you. But I mean, it's he's just was a member of our group, and then eventually one day he said that he needed to do more research, and that was that. And
well, clearly he does not want anybody figuring out what it was he was doing because he's not so welcoming a home he has here.
Oh yeah, no, he's killed a lot of people. I mean, not a lot because we stopped after like 4 or 5 people, but yeah, he killed like 4 or 5 of our group before we stopped sending people.
How do you even know he's still up there? It's been like 40 years.
I have no idea.
We don't believe he's up there. We're just looking for clues about where he may have gone with the bowl.
I mean, he could be up there. I just don't know.
What if he's just dead up there? He's been dead for like a long time.
He could be dead. I really don't.
Automated.
Yeah, like those are all very valid hypotheses.
Through all of this, I'm figuring out at the bottom of the stairs if there's a switch for the trap to turn the blades off. Otherwise, we're done here.
Hey, Crow, I got an idea.
Yes, Wally.
Why don't you climb up the outside of the tower, peek in the window at the top, and see if anyone's there?
I don't believe there was a window at the top of the tower, Paul.
You can actually see from the room that you're in that there are no windows on this floor, and there are no windows on the floor below either.
What kind of shitty tower design doesn't allow for natural light?
We should have just leveled this thing.
Bullshit architect made this.
The kind that has magic candles on every floor.
You are watching, and you see that the blades are just spinning constantly. Like they're just constantly spinning. They took a minute to like wind up, and now they're just moving at a constant pace. As one blade slips out of the wall, another blade slips back into the wall, and they keep rotating through, scything through the space, going up the stairs. You're looking around at the walls, and you can see that they are clearly hinged inside of the wall. Like there's some mechanism inside where they are rotating through a slit in the wall. There must be something past the stone that is keeping them in motion. But they have to pass through that narrow gap in order to continue the spin.
So they're spinning horizontally or vertically?
Horizontally.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand this mechanism.
So what triggered it was
The bottom step.
right.
So I look at the bottom step. Is it still compressed?
Yeah, can we pop it back up again?
It like sunk down and then it came back up.
I step on it again.
It goes chunk and locks in, and then you take your weight off and it chink and it comes back up again.
So when it was conchunked and I had my foot down on it, did it stop the blades?
No, the blades kept going.
How high off the ground do the blades go?
They are at different intervals. There's, at the level at the bottom of the stairs, it's kind of chest height. Then the next one is like knee height. The next one is head height. But they're all interspersed so that they don't interfere with each other. So like as one blade passes in, it wouldn't clash with one of the other.
Okay, so this is like going up the whole stairs.
Yes, it does. It continues up to the next level, which you saw, Wally, you saw through Quab's eyes.
Yeah. So this is not just a matter of like stepping over the blades.
No. Is there anything else in the room?
Yes. I mean, there's a table, there's a chair, there's a bookshelf, there's a second bookshelf, and there's a trunk. All of the objects in here are slightly either mildewed or rotted. Not to the point of like completely disintegrating like they are downstairs, but they're all in poor condition.
Can I look inside I'd like to look inside the trunk.
It's mildewed and rotted linens.
These will be perfect for stopping those blades.
Hicks tosses a fireball at one of the blades.
I'm going to start fabricating.
Go ahead.
A fireball?
A firebolt.
So go ahead and throw a firebolt at it. They're moving too quickly. You can't manage the timing. You see that there's a rhythm to it, but you can't get the timing down, and the firebolt just splashes harmlessly on the stone, leaving a mark of soot.
Oh boy! So I start watching the rhythm of the blades. Can I sense that there is a pattern that could be moved?
Roll investigation.
Skills, investigation, not my best. Yeah, no, I'll take that. I'll take an 18.
That's a 20.
For 20.
That's an 18 for 20. You watch, Crow. You're kind of used to this like ebb and flow of combat, and you have a lot of fancy footwork that you use that lets you anticipate how to dodge away from someone, which is how you can evade people after you've taken a swipe at them. And you see that the blades clearly have some sort of like mechanism that moves them in conjunction with another. So as one comes out, another one is going back in. And you get a sense of how the rhythm of the blades must be operating. And you have a feeling that if you were to go up those stairs, you would have pretty good odds of dodging them. And I'll tell you as a metagame thing, their attacks on you are now at disadvantage. And they will be for the rest of this encounter.
How many are there? Can I tell?
You can't tell from down here. But these, as long as the blades are a part of the thing, they're at disadvantage to attack you. Scraps, you're about to ask something.
I'm going to start fabricating tools, which I can magically do with. It's called the right tool for the job.
What kind of tools?
Blacksmith's tools would involve probably the kinds of instruments that could stand up to being able to jam them into the workings here.
Okay, cool.
So let's go with that.
So since you're taking an hour to do that, are you guys going to take a short rest?
Damn right I am.
Suppose we should.
All right, then.
This was a 50 Feet of Rope production. You can find us at 50feetofrope.com. If you like the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a review.